Okay, so we're versing the same Ambessa as the last match, which goes in our favor actually. As you might have already seen, Ambessa's running first strike, which is very poor decision into her matchup. She probably most likely wants to run Conqueror into a Garen, Ornn, and Diana, but that is okay. So I am going to be playing Diana this match. Diana's no stranger to me. The first time I ever hit Diamond was with Diana. One-tricked Diana all the way to Diamond. Now, I'm gonna want to... I was thinking about going red smite, but it's always better to just have blue smite on Diana so you can clear faster, get to your camps faster. The main thing you want to focus on with Diana is recycling your camps, getting them on cooldown, taking them as soon as they spawn, and in between that, you want to be getting ganks off on lanes that are around an 80% kill chance. You don't want to be just showing up for ganks when it's just a waste of time. So sticking to that max gold and XP probability. I'm going to clear to my Twitch and Renata. If Yi starts to play extremely aggressive on the Ornn, then we'll look to gank him in the top lane as well. When you're playing Diana, you want to make sure you're utilizing your passive to the maximum of its capabilities. So you can see above the HUD, passive timers on your attack speed. So in the early stages of the game, it's super important to be doing this. So just want to make sure we're watching those health bars above our map. One's half HP now. Want to be watching our lane priorities and maybe where the jungler is pathing to. Diana naturally clears a bit faster than most champions, so we have to assume. Just want to check Ambessa's farm. So Ambessa's clearing from her blue buff towards her red buff. Something we need to mentally acknowledge. Make sure we're pinging where Ambessa is. Should probably be letting Ornn know. It's a possibility you get dove. Just always make sure you're telling your laners where that jungler is. Make sure you're getting the fastest possible clear time off with Diana. This will allow you to get to Crab as it's spawning. Could probably be there a bit faster than this clear, but we're still there at a pretty decent time. When you're clearing towards your bot side as well, make sure you're watching where the enemy support is. And make sure you're just seeing if they walk up into that river and which bush they might ward. This can be really important with your ganking and if you're wasting time. You don't want to be showing on the map for no reason. Most of the time I will just show on the map and give the enemy that knowledge if I'm going to receive something in return. If I don't receive something in return, then you can count that as a mistake. So instantly being after that crab, don't waste time. You could opt to put a ward in where the blue buff Gromp is, but we kind of know which way Ambessa is pathing. So you can assume that Ambessa's on that Gromp now. You can put the ward there as you're switching to your sweeper, but it puts your sweeper on cooldown as well for your next gank. I'm kind of just assuming, okay, Ambessa's going to be going B after top lane. She wants to recycle her camps, so she'll be at that Gromp. I notice in a few of these matches I'm not utilizing my pings as much as I should be, so That's something I want you guys to take on and start pinging. We've got that information on the jungler. So let's ping where that jungler is more. Just pulling Yi away from his camps. Doesn't really affect me. I miss my Gromp, but I'm just going to play safe. I'm not going to go for Gromp. Just go Wolves. And make sure that Ambessa hasn't crossed through into my Raptors. Which she has. So because Ambessa has first strike, I'm not very scared of fighting her if she is in my jungle. But you can see what happens when the enemy gets vision on you. So I showed top lane on that Master Yi earlier, and it allowed for Yi to push me into my jungle. I lose my Raptors because Ambessa sees where I am. But what Ambessa has to be careful of is what I'm going to do after she takes my Raptors. So like sometimes it can be detrimental doing what Ambessa did to me, because that forces me to go, okay, well, I've got nothing to do on the map now, so I'm just going to gank their bot lane. So we get a double kill. Not only do we get, we get the jungler as well, so not only do we take them both down, we get the jungler, which the jungler is not on the map. Ambessa could be taking Drake, doing other things with that tempo instead of, taking my Raptors. So it's an error on Ambessa's behalf, even though she had the advantage on me when I gave vision top lane. On where I was pathing. Okay, so we see the Yi's gone MIA. He's probably covering this Crab. I just want to cover if he's going to gank Garen. I don't want to overcommit. He's got ult. I'm trying to get Garen's attention here. This is a free kill. Might be an error though. Okay, so it took longer than we expected, but we got the kill. Garen didn't. He has Ignite and ult. And we almost died. Alright, so off that player now we can assume that Garen isn't the best player. And that's a wealth of knowledge. So you don't want to invest too much time into a player like that. You want to make sure that they don't fall too far behind, but you don't want to give over gold to them in the future. You got to find the happy medium between this player's mental health and this player just completely trolling you because you're not helping them, sort of thing. It's like a gold balance between them inting and wanting to keep playing the game with you, I guess I should say. With solo queue, I always try to make sure I'm getting a 70%. I'm getting 70% of the gold income over if I'm ganking, or unless I know that my teammate is just absolutely smurfing, then I'll just give over 100% of the gold. I'm happy about that. But I know in my own head that I can carry these games if I get the gold. So that's why I take 70% over, giving my enemy friendly player 30%. I know that I'm not going to give over bounties as well. If I get fed, I'm going to play a lot safer than a friendly player would. There's nothing worse than when you get your teammate so far ahead. They've got a 700 gold lead and then they just ego trip mid lane or something and just push, ping, push. And then all of a sudden they get shut down. You're losing objectives, the game flips and you lose the game. Happens so many times. There's people trying to end the game way too fast. They get fed at 9 minutes and they're trying to end the game by 12 minutes. So I'm just trading the bot side quadrant for the grubs. I'm pretty sure they had prio on that top side earlier, so I didn't want to play anything risky. The game's still in that awkward position where no one's winning, no one's losing. So I'm basically just waiting for an overextend to happen or the enemy to make some sort of mistake where I can just capitalize on it. In that meantime, I'm just going to recycle camps, make sure I'm spending my gold, being as strong as possible before I take those skirmishes. Yeah, this game, I've noticed that I'm not pinging very much at all. Getting a bit lazy with those pings. I actually like to play Leashbane Diana. It's just how I've always kind of played with Diana, more of an assassin style. Especially if you're playing into squishies. Most of the enemy team could get one shot, apart from Yi with his W. So I'll go for a Zhonya's second for Yi. And that'll just upset his flow if he tries to go for like a triple kill. Then I can Zhonya's and he has to retarget. If you don't get Zhonya's in this situation, you try and ego it and you get a Rabadon's or the Shadow Flame next, Yi's going to run you down and then he's just going to run the rest of your team down as well. So it's just allowing that defensive option, taking a bit more extra time to kill you can be the difference in you winning and losing that game or that team fight. Could have played that better without E and probably got a triple kill there. The main thing is that I do not die in this scenario. I never want to be on a death timer as a jungler because there's things you can be doing on the map at all stages when you're a jungler. Laners, it's different. You can push your lane in and then by the time you get back to lane, maybe that next wave's coming and it's on your tower and you can still collect that wave. With the jungle, there's always something you can be doing. You could be ganking, you could be going for an objective, you could be counter invading, counter jungling. So like it's just 100% better to be up on that map. And you need to be able to recognize when. Oh, well, yeah, you just need to make sure you're not dying and that you're basing efficiently. So we got that triple kill bot lane, and what I was saying earlier was I was waiting for that skirmish to happen. That kind of happened in the bot lane there, and we've scored 2 goals in a row, and that's put the kills in that top right hand at 10-5. It was like 6-4 before, now it's 10-5, so we doubled that gold. And now we can start furthering that lead as well. You don't want to make an error in this point of the game and give them the gold back. Allow them to score that goal back on you. This is how you slowly close games out. It's those little tiny micro decisions you make that win the game over time, especially in higher elo. It's like constant decision making that's correct. So we got to try and drag this Drake out. We don't have smite. Have to play this fight perfect. I think if the enemy team was smart, they would pressure Drake here. Look to get a shutdown. But they're giving me too much respect. I don't have ult. I don't have smite. Kaiser's going to overextend for this tower. Well done on Renata getting me home safe there. Very risky play, but it paid off. I will say so myself. We take those. Could definitely go B in this situation. I'm going to recycle my camps before I B here. The only reason I do this is because I know the objectives are safe. I know this M-Bessa isn't going to be soloing one right now because she's not the best jungler. And also Seer in the mid lane. So I'm going to greed a little bit on the gold here instead of going base and spending that money on Zhonya's. So this is I would consider this very greedy. Getting caught out here is not good. But M-Bessa is just giving me way too much respect. So I'm just going to capitalize on that. Just try and drag that camp around. Got a very nice support as well, so that works hand in hand with jungle. If I was ever to choose a duo player to climb with, it would be a support player as jungle. Having vision, control, and just general support is so beneficial to carrying. So because M-Bessa is on a death timer, she's at 7 seconds, that gives us an opportunity to take Rift off the map, get a base timer in, spend our gold, and then look to pressure Drake. So we're in that position now where I can just start to 1v9. I can stop recycling my camps. I can look to start pressuring the enemy camps and the enemy towers with our pressure. So you will only want to start pressure enemy camps in scenarios like where Garen is right now. We want to utilize Garen's pressure in that mid lane to force tower hits, to force stealing enemy camps in that bot side quadrant, and I can also take Drake off the map for free. So Garen dies there, which is completely fine. We get the dragon, we get the bot lane tower for it. And that's how you utilize pressure. A little bit unsure on why Twitch has gone in. He's surely completely trolling. So I don't want to buy into that troll. That's a really good example of what I was talking about earlier with the goal situation. So we got the dragon. We got the tower for Garen's death. How they're going to score a goal on us back would be if we overextend, overcommit to a team fight after that, so that we can like kind of assist Garen's death, get back a bit of vengeance on the Garen death. That's the wrong decision there. This is the wrong decision here. Clear and vision. No, that's terrible. Don't do that. Just keep going up to the top side. Recycle your camps. I don't know what I was thinking there, honestly. So I'm just going to say sorry to my team because I realized what was I thinking? So yeah, the worst thing you can do is just overcommit to a team fight where the Garen's off the map. He's dead. It's a 4v5. Why is that Twitch going in? Who knows? Do not fall victim to that situation where you just get aced back. The enemy can then push mid, get your tier 1 tower, maybe even your tier 2 tower because you're all in like 30-second death time at that when the wave's pushing in mid. Just take what's safe on the map. Also with like where I died, if I just clear into my wolves and blue, then that'll give me a timer there where I can have my camps recycled, my camps will be on downtime. I can look to start pressuring top lane, look to do Baron. So if you're playing full AP Diana with Leash Bane as well, you can start forcing towers and pressuring so like efficiently with Leash Bane. Like it's just, look at the damage this item gives you. Practically one shot at tower. So everyone's MIA on the map. We have to be careful where we are right now. Just the only reason I am where I was is because of the vision that my support had given me. Don't be in that spot if you don't have backup, if your team is not pressuring. You're basically trolling. So I have Zhonya's, I have my double item power spike. So what I'm doing is just trying to force fights here. We don't want to be forcing something that's just stupid. I only went in because I knew I had team there and I had a Zhonya's up. If we can get a pick, or if we can send players base, this will give a free Baron to us. And it's optimal to get Baron at this stage because Drake's spawning in a minute 30. It'll give me time to clear my topside camps off the map, reset, ready for Dragon. So there's nothing I can really do if I go base straight away. I'm just going to make sure I take these off the map. So if I go base, that'll give the enemy an advantage on my top side. So if I just take them off the map before I go B, then at least they can't take them off the map by the time I get back onto the map. I'm not trying to rush anything now. Like, we're just doing plays that are a high percentage of pain.
An enemy has been slain.
Just waiting to see if anyone overextends for that tower. So I'm using the death timers here. That's why I'm not going for Drake. I can always fall back to Drake when the enemy starts pushing back into us once they have 5 up on the map. That's what I do here. They spawn, we get the inhibitor, so just back straight off. We don't want to overforce a fight. Yeah, we could probably look to get an ace and then just close the game out 100%. I always play the safer option though. So if we get aced there, at least we got the Drake, and at least we're in soul point position.
Destroyed a turret. Rampage. Triple kill. Your team has destroyed a turret.
So that put us into that position going for Drake, where Ornn was so low that they were chasing him out of the base, putting me into a position where I can get a nice flash ult off. And yeah, that just allows us to close the game out. So there you have it, a Diana game. Maybe something different to the Graves. So plat 1 now. Make sure we're saying GG, nothing toxic.